Today on episode 65, our Andrew Shaw episode of Typical Chicago Fans, we have sinkers and floaters, a Bears quarterback update, return of sports, question mark, what you watching, hitting the sticks, our first day out plans, and our food finds. Let's roll. Hello and welcome to episode 65 of Typical Chicago Fans. We are all here tonight. It is me, Boomy, at Boomy TCF. We are doing this over Skype. We've got the whole crew here. Zach over at Z Lilia TCF. We got P Goy in the house as well at TCF P Goy, and we got Matt Schoolfield at Schools _01. Guys, it's been a long time since we've had all four. How we all doing tonight?
Good, man. How are you guys?
Going crazy.
Yeah. P Goy, what about you, man?
Well, everything sucks. So okay.
It's one of these things. I get out, I get to go to work, but then I have to come back here, and it's like I don't know. It's getting old, but we got a long time left. That's the problem.
Yeah, hopefully at best case scenario we're like halfway through everything, but I'm not getting my hopes up. So but make sure you follow us on all your social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Type in Typical Chicago Fans on any of those. You can find us on there. We're still working on daily shows. Just not a ton to talk about, obviously, in the sports world.
We will have one Monday morning, though. So this will come out Sunday. We'll have one Monday.
Yep. And then from there, it's just kind of when we're all available and, when there's stuff
news.
to talk about.
When there's news.
Yeah, exactly.
You can only talk about the coronavirus and stuff like that within sports for so long, and there's not really news. Like, the thing is, though, it's not like the sports world is shut down, the entertainment world is shut down. Like, everything is on hold. Like I said, this is it's a small thing, but the Peaky Blinders season 6, the taping of it or whatever is canceled. Like, that's the kind of stuff that's getting canceled. Like, there is nothing to talk about. But I mean, other than the Bulls finally making a move. Finally.
Absolutely.
And
we'll get to that for sure. But the biggest thing, obviously, is staying safe. And, I don't know how much you guys are going out. I'm going out minimally. I'm picked up some part-time work, but I just go and do that. And then I come straight home. There's no going to wherever you want to go. That's really it. Zach's going to work, and I know P Goy's out at the track every once in a while, practicing social distancing, of course. But like you said, man, and Matt said it before we jumped on. Life as we know it has completely flipped upside down.
It's something that we could never have expected to happen, but when we're in it, it's like it sucks. But I've at least kind of adapted to it in an all right way, because it's just one of those things you just kind of sit back and realize if you just stay, hopefully, if we just stay inside or stay at least. Oh, wait, I'm not saying stay inside all the time. You can go out. Like I said, I've been going to the local grocery store and getting some stuff that we need every once in a while. But you just hope that if we at least take just a few, it's almost like we take a few months off of life in a way. Hopefully you keep FaceTime and everything with people, but you take a little bit of time off of life, we can get back to normal hopefully sooner.
Absolutely. Have any of you guys done like Zoom calls with your friends? I did one last night with a couple people.
I did one Tuesday night with some buddies, and it's something that you never thought you would be doing, because you always think, oh, why would I Zoom call with my buddies? I'm just gonna go to the bar and see them.
Yeah.
But now the bars are closed. It's something that I would say try it, because it's something that you would never think was fun until you're sitting there and you're just sitting in your recliner, drinking some beers and having some fun with your buddies over the internet. But it's a good time, because like I said, you don't get to really talk to anybody.
I didn't think I'd like it at first, and like you said, Zach, though, like it's better than nothing, and you survive and you adapt to what's going on, and that's kind of what you can do with that.
And I know everyone's doing it, but the background it's fun when your buddies are changing the backgrounds, and just being able to talk with the people, and you never thought that you'd have to rely on internet and the Zoom. I bet Zoom. I couldn't imagine the amount of users that it's been upped on Zoom because the whole world is kind of running through Zoom as we speak. We are on Skype. But
now for P Goy and
Zoom.
Matt though, like you guys in a different situation. Like, have you guys been on FaceTime and Zoom and all that with the kids and the families and the in-laws and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, all the time. We got a nightly call with Grandma and Grandpa almost. It seems
nice.
Like. And we got, I think it was last Saturday, we had my wife's entire family all got on like a conference call. I think it was they did it on Google Duo was I think the one they used. But
that's what I used.
They had like everybody was for his birthday, so like we all had dinner at the same time, just kind of sat, drank, hung out. So all the grandkids got to sing happy birthday to him and stuff. So that was cool. He was happy about that. So
how about you?
Hey, you make do with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just a bunch of FaceTime calls. Just trying to hang out, keep our distance, and it is what it is. It sucks, but it's at the end of the day, it's what has to be done to kind of slow this thing down, and hopefully we get some normalcy back sooner than later.
But kind of like Zach said, like to your point, Zach, like it is really cool to be able to not have to leave. I love my house and I love my recliner. To not have to leave your recliner to catch up with everybody, that part was kind of neat.
But on the other side of that, it does get old, and I've realized that I may like to sit around and relax a little bit, but after a while, it's like you can only do so much inside. You can only sit around for so long, especially because if this would have happened like during the heart of winter, like it was cold and snowy, maybe that'd be one thing. But it was sunny. It was like 55 today. It was a little chilly with the wind. But it's one of those things you want to go outside and you could go outside, you go to your backyard and everything, but we can't go golfing. You can't really go out and about. You can't go get like hang out with your buddies and drink or whatever and have fun like you normally can do. So
we had to tell my kid the park was closed today. We're walking by, he wants to go down the slide. We're like, yeah, the park's closed. You can't even go to the park anymore. Like, this is crazy.
I know in Mendota they chained up all the swings together and they took the basketball rims off the basketball hoop. It's nuts, man.
It's like they're practicing defense.
My mom was at work, and my nephew and my sister drove up, and my mom kind of stayed away from the car. But my nephew is waving, and he goes, "Grandma, you're supposed to be at home." Like he's a 4-year-old, but he understands that you gotta go home. Why are you out and about? You gotta go home. Like it's one of those things. It's just weird to think about the time we're living in. It's like don't. Well, you can socialize through like FaceTime and stuff like that, but you literally just can't go see people. Like that's like Easter. Easter's what, Sunday?
Yep.
A week from when this is coming out.
The 12th.
I'm gonna say it, dude. This is the most wild time we will ever live in.
Ever. We will never live another. Hopefully, we're not going to win. But when will anything ever get shut down like this again?
You think about this, dude. Like we've lived through wars, not obviously like a World War II type situation, but we've lived through wars. We've lived through, terrorism. We've lived like the way 9/11 changed like our daily lives was really quick how it changed everything, but it didn't span a year of like just a constant of just people are getting sick and dying, man. And like it's gonna continue. Like this is changing everything. Like, and if you think like when things are lifted, like we're just gonna go back to normal. Like you're gonna go to a movie theater and like you hear some guy cough and you're not gonna think like, wait a minute. It's gonna be natural.
Well, yeah, it's just one of those things. When you walk around, like if you have a little bit of not even just like a little cough, if you breathe something in weird or something or anything like that, even a sneeze, or if you have like an itch on your face, I feel like everybody's tensed up. Like everyone's on edge, and I understand why, but you can just tell. Like you can just tell everybody's on edge, and it's one of those things. It's just it's a weird time to just go to the gas station and get like a pop or something or anything like that would be
The
normal
lady
life.
at the gas station the other day yelled at me because I didn't have a mask. Not yelled at me. She's an old Indian lady. She's like the nicest lady in the world, but she's like, "You don't have gloves or mask?" And I was like, "No, like I'm just running back down to school to get some stuff." And she's like, "Oh, you got to take care of yourself." And I was like, "I know." I'm like, I don't leave the house very much. And I mean, like,
Well, I
like you
always keep
said,
sanitizer and stuff like that, so I kind of. But it's one of those things. Yeah, like
It's just crazy, dude. Just
I
think about
understand
it.
I understand the glove thing. Like, I get it, the gloves, but like if you're touching other things and you're touching, I mean, it's putting it kind of. I don't know. I'm very confused. It's a very confusing time because it's open the floodgates of conspiracy theories, and the
yeah,
conspiracy theories are wild. And guess what? We have a lot of time to sit home and read these
yeah,
conspiracy theories. So it's one of those things. It's like if you ever wanted to talk about some kind of weird conspiracy theory, you tie it to the coronavirus and you have people hooked. Because you got me.
absolutely.
I'm a conspiracy theory.
I will
I
click
don't.
on that link.
I will click on anything.
Yeah, for sure. But hey, let's get into it. We normally do a sinkers and floaters to start the show. It's been a while since our last podcast. I was looking up March 2nd was the last time we actually did a podcast. And sinkers and floaters, good things are floaters because they're floating to the top. Sinkers are the bad things, so they're sinking to the bottom. So I will start off with my sinker. And my sinker is toilet paper. Obviously, everybody knows about the toilet paper shortage and the people that are hoarding and everything. It's bad enough for toilet paper, but also in Hutchins, Texas, a tractor trailer that was hauling nothing but toilet paper crashed and caught fire last Wednesday morning. So it's bad enough that people are having a hard time. They're hoarding this. I was at Walmart on Friday. I had to go get a prescription. Check down the aisle. There was like 8 things of toilet paper. So it's already bad enough that it's scarce. And now it's burning up on the interstate. Like, come on. What are we doing here? It's just insult to injury, salt in the wound there.
It is unbelievable though. Like you go places and it's just out. Like there's just none there.
Yeah, you just don't have it.
Who would have thought like we'd be living in a time where you just can't buy toilet paper regularly? Like there's signs that say only take like one.
One per person, yep.
That's one of everything that's going on. That's one of the weirder things. It's just like you're being told how many to buy. Like you can only buy so many like of those like the Lysol wipes and stuff like that, and that are pretty much gone from certain places. Like I went to Walmart it was like a week and a half ago, and there was like 3 off-brand like bacterial disinfectant wipes and stuff like that, and that was it. Of like the whole thing, and it's like that's just crazy. Like,
we can't find them anywhere around
no
me.
bread.
Can't find them anywhere. Bread we got plenty of. We got plenty of bread. Cannot find like you said like Clorox wipes or even the knockoff brand ones. Anything like that. Can't find hand sanitizer. It's nuts, man. It's crazy.
Like even if you go to a random gas station and you look at their hand sanitizer, all gone. Like it's just crazy to think that people. I don't know. My brain is almost on coronavirus overload.
Oh, for sure. It's overwhelming.
My mom and me were talking about it, and she just goes, "Until Monday morning, we're not allowed to talk about it." So in our house, we're not allowed to talk about the coronavirus.
A weekend moratorium. It's not a bad idea. It's really
no.
not.
We're like I said, we're stuck inside until Monday morning when we got to go back to work. So we're just not going to talk about it until then. So I like that.
Maybe every household needs to implement like 48 hours.
You know what? I'll go into my sinker so we can try to change subjects off the coronavirus. We had to stay inside and we go out. You can drive around a little bit, get some fresh air. If I wave at you, wave back. If you look me in the eyes and I wave at you and you don't wave back, I'm not happy. Like you are an enemy of mine.
Especially Zach, kind of playing this back into the times. Like there's enough sadness going on in the world. Like just turn on the news for 5 minutes.
Like
wave, man. I wave at everybody right now.
I was at a 4-way stop and there's a guy across from me and I waved and he looked me dead in the eyes and kept driving. Like stared at me almost. Like, come on, man. I got enough sadness in my
I'm with
life.
you,
You're
Zach.
gonna take a nice little. You know how good do you feel when somebody gives you a nice little wave? Hey, what's up?
Oh, it's a great feeling.
Hope you are doing well in this time of the corona. And
Zach, you're gonna be a mayor. You're gonna be a mayor of a small town someday.
Just wave at
So you know.
everybody.
You are going to be a mayor of a small town. I can assure you that. You got mayor written all over it.
And then he implements a
I don't
city
mean that in a
law,
bad
like
way.
a $50
That is
fine
not-
if you don't wave
that
at
is-
somebody.
That
If
is
I
not
have
any
permit-
kind of an insult. Not any kind of an insult at all.
No,
I don't
I
mean that
like
in
it.
any bad way.
I feel like I could because like if my first rule,
Mayor
my first
Papa.
law in town, I don't think mayors can actually make laws. But mine would be
You can help write ordinances.
if you're
Yeah.
within pop limits, you don't wave at people, and I find out about it, we'll get a ticket.
It's a wave. This is in this town we wave. All right.
Yeah.
And I'll
We wave.
Your ass is your
Put
ass.
that on the sign outside of town.
I will show up to your house. I'll knock on your door, and you have to wave to me.
All right, P Goy, what is your sinker this week?
All right, my sinker is bookies.
Oh, very true.
That's true.
There's
Even though
nothing to gamble on, so the bookies can't collect. So you're kind of SOL there, dudes.
can
It's
people bet
hard
on
to feel
the
bad
e-racing?
for a bookie, though.
Can you,
Well,
can
if
you
if
bet
you're
on
my
e-
bookie, you feel really bad right now.
What's is e-racing or i-racing?
E-gaming.
E-racing. No, it's e-racing. What the NASCAR is doing.
I thought it was
Um,
iRacing.
I-racing, whichever.
Uh,
I think you can't bet on that.
I don't know, but that'd be so awesome to do sometime.
Not with that kind of
That'd be
attitude.
so fun.
Dude, the NASCAR thing,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
To
sweet.
drive those things, that'd be sweet.
those are $200,000 machines.
Yeah.
There's six
Awesome.
six screens, and then you feel like you're in the car. Have you? So there used to be this.
I'm not a
I have
NASCAR guy at all either. That looks so fun.
Yeah.
off track here, but I have a funny story about my childhood. So I went to Mall of America, and they used to have these simulators there, the NASCAR simulators, and they were pretty awesome. Like it was like the real car, and not the real car, but like it looked like the car, and you could get in, and like the big screen, you look like you're racing. And I was too small. I was too young to do it, and I bawled my eyes out. I guess I was a mess for the rest of the day. That was my story. Dude, and they're not there anymore, but they were awesome. Like
That'd
you felt
be
like
so much fun.
the car shook, and like if you crash, it would like start like going crazy and stuff. Like it
That's
was,
awesome.
but they got rid of it because I'm guessing it was maybe pretty expensive to do.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Maddie, what about you? What's your sinker?
I'm gonna say it's people that were at the grocery store with me today. All of them.
You looked like you were there to rob the joint.
Okay.
Yes,
So
incredible picture.
In their
All right.
defense,
Here's what I want to say. I want to preface this that I'm a little worried about the coronavirus. I've been the one that's always been pretty as we've talked about on previous daily shows, things like that. That I'm a little concerned. Whether it's my wife who's a nurse, my kid, I've got a young kid. You know that always makes things worse. I go to the store today. And I've got a mask on.
no, not a mask.
Let's clarify.
It
You're
is.
going to a 2 Live Crew concert.
It looks like you were. It also looked like you were like in the Wild West, in the Wild West, with an Expos.
Yeah,
hat
he
on.
looked like he was going to ride a horse to rob a train.
It was so fun. I'm not gonna
Vladimir
lie.
Guerrero was like,
It was
Right.
every time I saw like the reflection and like in the glass when I was walking up to the grocery store and I'm looking at myself, I was
my God.
so excited. It was so like it was so fun.
You're like, I'm about to think about. He had his Expos hat on backwards, sunglasses on, and then bandana over his face. And I'm like, they may think you're about to rob the place.
Yeah. See, but I'm just being conscious. You know, I don't have any symptoms, but hey, I could be an asymptomatic carrier. I don't want to get anybody else sick if I have that ability.
What a guy.
See, the coronavirus says we're saying asymptomatic
See?
and shit on this
Yeah.
on a sports podcast. What has
Thank
the coronavirus done?
We're
to
doing
us?
our research here. We're doing our research. So in
no,
turn,
I'm not saying too, but that's just crazy what we have to.
When I'm in the grocery store and you see somebody that is, just taking
normally that person
precautions.
gets called the police on because he looks like a crazy person. Now he's a normal guy.
Now people are running the opposite direction from me, I'm there to rob them.
You're gonna take their money, man.
It was a pretty sweet bandana. Not gonna lie, I did feel like a little bit of a robber. It was very cool.
But it's one of those moments allowed to go out and wear that.
It's not.
All right, Matt. This is the trust tree, and you have to be honest here. When you were at the checkout, did you think about asking for all the money in the register or not?
Yes, I did.
I feel like the guy would be like, okay, this is a dad trying to make a dad joke.
Look, I'm stuck in my house for what looks like to be the better part of 6 to 8 weeks. Let me have a little bit of goddamn fun in my life.
Exactly.
But hey,
let the man
don't dodge me. Dodge the other people. If you're walking down the chip aisle with me, you don't have to act like I'm coughing on you just because I'm wearing a mask. And that person's wearing a mask too. But those are the people you should feel more safe around than the people who are not taking.
I agree.
I don't know. So those people, you're my sinker. Boom.
Everyone's tense.
All right.
It's tense.
I'll get it started on the floaters then, the things that are rising up. And that is mine is Dr. Anthony Fauci. This guy is all over the news, right? We've seen him everywhere. He's at every press conference with Donald Trump. He's the head of the CDC, I believe. He's been on every podcast. Even news about his youth. He was a basketball player. Even Trump was talking about it the other day. But this guy's stock keeps going up and up because I have found that he will now be getting not only his own bobblehead in the Bobblehead Hall of Fame, he has also got donuts.
Matt, wait. What's going on, man?
Yeah, what is happening?
That's not me.
It sounds like it's
That's not me. That's not me. I don't know what that is, but that's
P Goy
not me.
What is going on, P Goy?
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Our podcast has been taken over. Oh, stop.
Sounds like a lawnmower.
It's going again.
What is happening?
I don't know, but we're gonna keep this all in there. Keep moving, Boomy.
All right, do you want me to start over?
No, just keep it moving. All
right, whatever. Like I said.
Oh my God, this is awesome.
Oh my God,
yeah, see, the guy coughs and he's a serial killer now.
Oh my God. Well, Fauci, like I said, not only is getting a bobblehead in the Bobblehead Hall of Fame in Milwaukee, but he's getting donuts with a nice little picture of his face. His they have doctor portraits, and they put a picture of that with some frosting on it. So if you're buying stock, buy some stock in Dr. Anthony Fauci, the head of the CDC. That man is a superstar. So when you go on Facebook and it has targeted ads, I saw, and there's always stupid ones like, I'm a tough guy who was born in the month of July. I don't care about yet, those kinds of things. There's ones that have it almost looks like a rap T-shirt with sparkling letters and wild stuff on it, and it's Dr. Anthony Fauci, and he's all over the map, dude. He is the biggest. You could probably get more people that recognize his name right now than a lot of professional athletes or singers right now, because everybody knows who Anthony Fauci is. So shout out to the man who's running the CDC.
He was on PM Part of My Take not too long ago. He was one of his first interviews.
Yeah, exactly. And he's been all over the place. I've seen him everywhere. So Fauci is definitely top.
My floater, we're going to get more into this later on, what we've been doing lately, but video games is my floater, because without video games and we getting those group chats on the PlayStation like we used to when we were on Xbox 360, back when we were playing all night when we were back in high school and stuff. It keeping me sane, as crazy as it sounds. Just chatting with some guys on PlayStation every once in a while at night. It's just kind of keeping me sane, playing MLB The Show pretty much all the time. And without video games, I don't really know. I mean, I like watching shows, but for some reason, either my attention span has just gone away, but I cannot watch a whole series anymore. It just doesn't happen. So I've kind of just been playing video games with a show in the background. So I said, shout out to video games for being some of the reason I'm going to get through the quarantine. Because, boys, we got a while left.
Yeah.
It's sad we got a while left. And it's just, I don't know how many more hours I can log in on the video games. Like,
we're going to find out, big boy.
This is going to come to me having to, like, take a walk down to my pond. Like, that's what I'm going to have to do. Like, that does not sound fun.
I took the dog on a walk out into the field like 2 miles the other day.
Let's go for a walk.
Yeah, exactly. P Goy, what about you, buddy? What's your floater?
We've lost P Goy. P Goy ran away.
All right, Matt, what's yours?
My floater, I'm gonna go with. I got two. Like, I'm gonna. You know what? I got one. Netflix. We're just gonna give it to them. They're the undisputed king champion of the quarantine is Netflix
of the world.
They figured out that just get everything out there that you possibly can, and people are going to consume the living hell out of it right now.
If you're watching on YouTube, this is my list, how long it is, of all the things that I have watched on Netflix so far. I mean, it's insanely long. It's probably 20 things long right now.
It's nuts, man. There's so much quality stuff out there. Like, I haven't gotten – here's two things that I have not even gotten to that I have not even touched is Tiger King. I haven't touched it.
I haven't either. I haven't seen it yet.
And I still have not touched Ozark Season 3 yet. And that's one of my
favorites. I'm almost done with Season 2, Matt. I just started it the other day.
Welcome back. Anyway, Ozark Season 3. Netflix, obviously the undisputed king. They're absolutely murdering quarantine life right now. Hey, people are we're bitching about their prices, every time they increase it. Right now, Netflix could probably go up to about
$20 a month.
And people will just it'll be the gif where the girl is throwing cash out the window at Netflix right now, because that's all.
Exactly.
I want my money and I want it now.
Yeah, that's right.
P Goy, what about you, buddy? Are you there yet?
Now that you're back.
Sorry, boys. Yeah, my router was cutting out, so I had to go hit the reset button real quick. But
is that what that buzzing was? Are you taking blame for the buzzing finally?
Yes. Go ahead. My floater is horse racing, because they are still going strong. So we still have something to bet on.
The ponies
don't stop. Ponies to bet on.
The ponies don't. I'm yelling. I'm just amped to talk to people, honestly.
They got
exactly.
P Goy, did you see all the guys in the stable and everything? Or they're all wearing?
Oh yeah, they're wearing masks.
Yeah, I saw the.
They should probably be wearing those anyways.
Or what is it? The paddocks? The paddock? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, but the guys that are on the horses that aren't the ones that are actually racing have the masks on and all that shit. So but horses are still going, so we still have something to bet on. So we're doing okay.
The horse racing business has to be booming right now because it's all we have to watch.
100%. But guys, let's jump into it. The biggest news in Chicago probably in the last week, and that's kind of how slow things are right now. There's two real things and two things we got to talk about. But first, I want to talk about I think Matt Nagy was the one who said it, or Ryan Pace, that the quarterback competition for the Chicago Bears is quote unquote an open competition between Mitch Trubisky and Nick Foles. Is there anything to take from that, or is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing?
It's a good thing.
What do you guys? I know only two of you guys are Bears fans, but
they weren't going to go, hey, Nick Foles is our starting quarterback right now. Like, there's no way you can do that. Yeah, it just crushes the confidence. There's no real reason to do that anyway. So why not just say it's going to be an open competition? I don't know if anyone heard Nick Foles' interview that he did, just kind of talking about the Bears sign and everything. And he is as professional as it gets with everything. And he knows how to talk to the media. I think with his attitude and stuff, it's the exact quarterback that you want. You want a quarterback that he understands he wants to be the starter, but he knows that there's going to be competition, and I just hope that this just takes Mitch to the next level in the sense of maybe it'll give him some urgency. Maybe because with Chase Daniel there the last few years, he knew day one he was the starting quarterback. Now there is a person who can take his job, and I think that's what we need this offseason is that in his head that at the back of his head that he could lose his job in training camp or at the beginning of the season if he does not play well. So I think
let me rephrase the question then, Zach, and this will go for all of us. And if you were to make a bet right now, someone gave you $100 to place a bet, who is the Bears starting quarterback in week 1? Who does everybody think? And I will start. I will defend this. I think it's going to be Mitch Trubisky for the reasons that Zach talked about. It's going to light a fire under his ass, hopefully. And honestly, and the other biggest reason I say this is because I'm not 100% that Nick Foles is completely back to his Philadelphia Eagles Nick Foles. He was not very good last year. Obviously, he struggled with injuries. But I think that this is going to light a fire under Mitch and
struggle with injuries and a shit team, too.
Yeah, you're right.
Jaguars.
But I don't know if he's 100% back to what he was in Philadelphia. I mean, the collarbone is not the easiest injury for a quarterback. If he gets hit funny in training camp or whatever the case is, I think it's going to be Mitch in week 1. What do you guys think?
Matt, you can go first.
Well, for one, the one thing I know hindsight's 20/20, but if they would have waited a week, they could have signed Cam Newton and not given up a 4th-round pick, and not giving up a 4th-round pick that they fucking need. They need that draft equity. They need that draft equity, though. But that's the problem.
The reason why no one has signed Cam Newton, and there's a reason why that no one traded for Cam Newton is because you can't do a physical because you don't know if he's going to be healthy. You don't know. There's a huge question mark with him.
But is there any?
What?
Is there any? What's the likelihood of being hurt? Who's got a higher likelihood of being hurt, Nick Foles or Cam Newton?
Cam Newton.
They were both hurt last year.
I understand that,
almost all last year.
But Nick Foles hasn't gone his whole career being a running quarterback with the injuries, the ankle, and then the knee. And a lot of injuries have kind of stacked up on Cam Newton. And I'm afraid that it's going to come back. And I understand what you mean by they could have waited, but there's how many other I always forget how many other teams there are in the NFL that could have signed Cam Newton and no one has yet. So
okay, but let me throw this out then too. If you wait that week and Cam Newton is out there, maybe that 4th rounder you have to give up turns into a 5th or 6th for Nick Foles.
I don't think they wanted him ever.
That's what I'm saying though. But because that option's out there, it makes the leverage back in favor of the Bears, so they wouldn't have to give up a 4th rounder. That's a lot to give up for Nick Foles, in my opinion. But anyway, back to the real question. Back to it doesn't matter. That was my fault for going off on something that really doesn't matter. So that's my bad.
Well, we haven't talked. It's good. I think it's good. We haven't talked about any of this yet. That's a good conversation.
Well, I mean, if I had to bet, I'd probably guess Trubisky's a starter in week 1. And I don't think he's a better quarterback necessarily.
Is it his job to lose, quote unquote?
I think it's going to be a little bit of that, and I think I don't know. I don't know.
It's kind of a coin flip right now.
I mean, it's so odd because this time last year, Trubisky was like a chic pick to be like an MVP candidate. His odds skyrocketed from like 50-1 all the way to like 15-1 to win the MVP going into the season. Like
it's a better.
There was so much. Weird. I understand that, but there's a lot of talent there that was he was very good in 16 or excuse me in 18, but. I don't know, man. It's just.
Have you seen that video of him the year that they did well, and there's so many dink and dunks and like 60-yard runs. Like I
go back to it. Then run that offense again.
It didn't work this year. I think that it will be Nick Foles. I think he's an Andy Reid guy. He knows the offense. He knows Matt Nagy. I think he will go in there and prove that he is a playoff-winning quarterback. He's won the Super Bowl, and I don't know. I just don't.
He's a confetti quarterback, right?
Yeah, confetti quarterback. Even Shea, confetti quarterback. He may not look like one, but he's held the Lombardi trophy. So
he's done it. He's done it. You cannot take that away. Flags fly forever.
Well, I'm a lot higher on the Nick Foles trade than a lot of Bears fans. I think it was a good trade. I'm excited about. I don't know what us as Bears fans. When was the last time we had Jay Cutler, and then when was the last time we had a quarterback that we were excited about for 2-3 years straight? I don't know.
Eric Kramer.
Yeah.
P Goy, what do you think, buddy?
I think it's probably Trubisky, but it's his job to lose, so he will lose it, and then it'll be Foles in
Zach's
about
not wrong.
But it is crazy to think, though, we are saying that Nick Foles, a Super Bowl winning quarterback,
he is the better quarterback.
Yeah, but listen, but
does Trubisky get the benefit of the doubt because he's been around?
That's what I think happened.
But the crazy thing is, what was before we traded for Nick Foles? We wanted a new last year. Oh my gosh, the Twitter when Trubisky was playing bad, and now we're like, oh, we'd rather have him start over Nick Foles when there hasn't even been a training camp or anything. Like, I just think it's crazy to where our brains have gone for the last, like, it's just because as a Bears fan, you just sat back and you just saw like how people drug Mitch Trubisky through the mud last year when he wasn't playing well, and now that we have a good quarterback and we're just on Mitch's side now, like, it's just I hope Mitch can play well. I hope it all turns out well, but it's just weird how everyone's kind of turned in a different way.
Yeah, I agree.
Have a good quarterback.
I gotta ask P Goy one thing about his Vikings real quick.
Can't be anything good.
The Stephon Diggs trade.
I like that.
That was a steal, in my opinion, for what they got compared to what like DeAndre Hopkins got.
Well, that's because they got nothing for him, though. So there was really nothing. They got nothing for him, which is just crazy. Like, Bill O'Brien, I don't know what you're doing, man.
No, I like the Diggs trade just because they got a bunch for him.
He didn't want to be there.
But the thing is, like, the Vikings have lost so much on the defense, though, so they're gonna have to replenish all of these picks that they lost through this trade. So, if they don't get two corners and a nice defensive end or defensive lineman, then the trade just kind of sucked. But,
And you re-signed Kirk Cousins, so that's hurt your team already.
Didn't Diggs and Cousins hate each other too? Like,
they probably did.
Remember when he came out, he defended Thielen and said that he apologized and everything. Like, I think ever since then, Diggs has been like, "What? Why would you apologize to him and not apologize to me?"
No, it's obvious. Like Diggs and Cousins did not like each other. That's obvious. So one had to go.
You can't blame Diggs, though. You can't blame.
No, come on. The guy cooked steak in aluminum foil.
Yeah, that is very true.
No, it wasn't going to be the quarterback, so it is what it is.
That's insane that he did that. That's insane.
All right, give me a Packer. Give me
on Twitter.
Give me an NFC North rundown here. What's going on in Green Bay there, Boomy?
Yeah.
We've had to shed some salary from the guys we paid last year. Blake Martinez was going to New York, but we've also they picked up a new offensive lineman to kind of move Brian Bulaga out, which will be weird. It'll be like the first time since I was in high school that Brian Bulaga is not lining up on the offensive line. But they picked up Devin Funchess, who's obviously it's not a huge signing, but giving him some good hands. Losing Jimmy Graham doesn't hurt us that much. He was good. He was available.
It does. Don't worry. He brought the playbook with him.
Yeah, that's all right. You can have it. You're still not stopping Aaron, so that's all right. You can have it.
Wait. Matt, I got a question. What about Robert Quinn? What did you think of that?
Oh, what a signing!
I thought it was a great signing.
I like that.
I was listening to Waddle and Sylvie, and Urlacher didn't like it. But I don't know why you wouldn't like another force on the edges to go at the quarterback.
Khalil Mack doesn't put up the numbers he did in year one like he did last year. Now you have another guy to replenish that. I think it's going to make tough decisions.
Robert Quinn is what you hoped Leonard Floyd was going to turn into.
Yes.
Floyd never. Oh. He was such a tall, big guy, and he could just never
that's what I'm
to the quarterback.
You were begging Leonard Floyd to turn into Robert Quinn. That's what you were hoping for with where he was drafted and his talent and all that stuff.
Leonard Floyd's already 27. I think he's like 27, 28 already. That's pretty crazy.
Robert Quinn can get to the quarterback, and the defense is going to be very good. I think the secondary is going to be really good again. I don't know. The quarterback situation is just infuriating to me.
The sad thing is, we just have to hope that we
just give me
have
Cutler
football.
back. Give me
Just
Cutler.
give me football.
Just give me
Just give
Jay.
me football.
Just give me Jay. Just give me Jay. I want my Jay back.
I love Jay, but Jay's done.
I want him
Jay
back.
is a reality star now.
Reality star, bro.
I want him back.
All right, let's get into some positive news, though. The Bulls, it appears, are going to be moving direction out of the front office. It was announced they will begin their search for a front office change. Now, that came out on April 3rd, which is yesterday, and it has already came out that the Pacers GM Buchanan, I can't remember what his first name is, has already declined an interview with the Bulls. Chad Buchanan. No, not a good start at all. But there is some hope. I don't know about you guys. I'm really feeling oh God, I can't remember the guy's name in Toronto. Obviously, they've done some really, really good things there. But yeah, it appears that the Bulls are finally going to go in a different direction for the first time in like
Masai Ujiri.
Yes.
I am so excited for this. This is the day that we have been talking about. I mean, I understand, yes, Gar and Pax may be somewhere within the organization, but they will not be able to make the decisions. I don't think. I mean, they say Pax is going to be an advisor. I think he's just going to kind of turn into like an alumni player, pretty much. Like, hey, when they have events, when they have events, go. No, do not chance. Take it. That was so rude.
No, I'm just saying because like he's just there in
is a nice lady, and John Paxson has ruined the Bulls. That is.
I'm not talking about this specific queen. I'm talking about being a figurehead.
Well, next time,
he's be there just to look at like to people. Oh, hey, there's John Paxson.
John Paxson.
Like, people hey, there's the Queen of England. She doesn't actually do anything, but there she is.
I don't want to see him at the Bulls game anymore. I don't want to see
fire him. Get him out.
Bring back bad memories. Bad memories. And I want to see Gar Foreman. I want to see I don't even like I said.
I want to see professional scouts. I want to see an actual like analytics department. I want to see like people that like an actual NBA front office, not like what it was in 1984.
We got denied the Pacers, the general manager.
Yeah, he already told him no because he knows what the Reinsdorfs are like.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's going to be a big problem.
You can make a joke like, "Oh, we didn't want to this and that," and the video. I don't know, but no, he's kind of seen what Gar and Pax have been able to do, and kind of seen how the Reinsdorfs have run their organization lately, and maybe he just doesn't want to be a part of that, and that's not good.
I think another name I saw pop up was I don't know if he's the GM or something like that in Denver, but I think that's a good way to look too. They've built a nice organization out there. Go to those winning organizations, man.
So
it's a hell of a blueprint. Go to people who've done it.
This officially means Pax's rebuild is a failure after what?
Which one?
Rebuild. Yeah, it's like with rebuild. That's the problem.
That was always the joke.
Start.
That was always a joke, and they always kept going. Oh, this rebuild is keep going. The rebuild keeps going. The rebuild keeps going. And guess what? It has finally ended. It is ended because
they hired Vinny Del Negro. Think how far back that was.
That's what I mean. It has been just years of just it's. I mean. You think about it. This new documentary is coming out. We've been talking about what is it? It's the Last
Dance.
The Last Dance. And that was 22 years ago. And where the Bulls are now, from 6 championships in 7 years or something.
They were the preeminent organization in the world.
They're the best player in the league. I understand.
Now they're a laughing stock.
But now they are no free agent wants to come to Chicago. No general manager wants to come to Chicago. No one wants to come. What is it? It's the 3rd biggest city in the United States? 4th? Like, that's just crazy. That one of the biggest NBA markets, and no one wants to come play or work for your team. Like, that's just where we're at now.
According to Adrian Wojnarowski, some of the candidates that were brought up are Denver Nuggets general manager Arturas Karnasovas, Toronto's GM Bobby Webster, The Pacers GM Chad Buchanan, who's obviously declined. The Heat GM Adam Simon, Jazz Justin Zanuck, and Clippers Michael Wigner. I like all of those. All of those organizations are for the most part, winning organizations in the last couple of years and have built something nice. It's not like they're but it's obviously not off to a great start if Chad Buchanan's already turning down even an interview. But hopefully, Bobby Webster, one of those guys from any of those other teams. I like all those teams that were mentioned that are, hopefully going to bring some, like Matt said, some analytics and some real basketball knowledge.
Yeah, I'm just luckily for Reinsdorf, he could really literally hire anybody else, and people will most likely be happy. Like it's just not Gar and Pax anymore.
That's the thing. It's
Absolutely.
so marketable though too. It's so marketable. It's the freaking Bulls, man.
Yeah,
like it's so marketable. Like it's a franchise in the NBA. It's so big.
I've hated this for years where people always say, oh, we didn't get free agents because they don't want to play where Michael played. They don't want to play with the statue. If you don't want to, then I don't want you on my team.
Yeah.
Then if that's that's not why the Bulls aren't getting free agents.
They don't want to play for the Reinsdorf
because they're not
family.
a desirable place. They're not
They
a desirable
don't play
place.
for Gar Pax running the
They
organization.
don't want to play for the Reinsdorfs. They don't want to play for Gar Pax.
Why
They
did
don't want to play
Dwayne
in
Wade
that
not come to
organization.
Why did Dwayne Wade not play for the Bulls until the end of his career? Why did LeBron not come to the Bulls instead of going to the Heat?
Carmelo.
Why did we not get Carmelo? Why did we not get any big free agents? Because we've had Gar and Pax there, and we've had the Reinsdorfs just not running the organization right. Just frustration.
All right, let's get into it. Obviously, we said in our sinkers and floaters, one of our biggest ones was Netflix. So what have you guys been watching in our time in quarantine? I will kind of piggyback off of Matt here real quick. I just started Ozark on Monday. I've already burned through almost 2 seasons. And I really, really enjoyed it. If you're a crime, if you're into those kinds of shows, be all over it, man. It's a good show. I highly recommend Ozark. So I will give that one out. What about you guys?
I've been rewatching The Office. I did not know the first season was pretty short. I think hey guys, I'll let you all guess. What year was the first episode of The Office aired?
2003.
Matt?
I'll say 2001.
P Goy.
2005.
2005. 2005 is when the first episode was.
Freshman in high school.
The first season, if anyone wants to know, first season is the basketball episode, which is one of the best.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
It was 2005. It was 2005. Yeah, that was when Amy Adams was in it. She was the purse salesman.
Yes.
That's right.
That first season for like the Michael Scott humor it's next level. Like that. Just those first few episodes where like you're kind of figuring out like he's just like the funny, quirky boss and stuff like that.
All I'm gonna say is, do not ever sleep. Like season four of The Office. My fucking god! Like it was just banger after banger after banger after like every episode.
When Andy Bernard came into the fold, like that was hilarious.
Season 3 was great. Season 2 was great.
I wasn't the biggest.
The whole series was awesome.
When Jim wasn't working at
when he was at that agency or whatever.
I'm trying to. Where is Dunder Mifflin?
When Jim wasn't in France, he was working in.
He was working in Philly at that sports agency.
No,
Ryan Howard in there.
He was working at the other bit.
Stanford, Connecticut.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then I didn't really like. I liked kind of a lot when Pam went off to art school because then she got out of the office and because I was not a fan.
I'm not a fan. I'm with you.
A fan of Pam. And then I see they have like a podcast now. Like I think it's lady who played Angela. Yeah, they got like that's too many episodes to do every podcast. That's a lot of that's a lot of episodes. Really and truthfully, that's like I said, I haven't been watching too many news series because I can take a picture of it, but the TV that I watch it on is very old, kind of small, so it has a built-in DVD player. So I just been playing DVDs. No Netflix for right now because
keeping it old school. I like it.
I'm too lazy to go get a bigger TV to bring down here. So,
Matt, what about you? What are you watching now?
Well, I just actually knocked out the entire first 14 episodes of the Barstool documentary. I don't know if you guys checked that out yet. It was very good.
Got that done too.
That was really entertaining.
It's free now.
Yeah, it is. It's funny too because like a lot of that I remember. A lot of it, like a lot of it, it was made me feel like I'm really old actually too.
The pirate porn saga was one of the funniest situations I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was good. The Tico, Texas thing too, dude. That one still gets me to this day.
Sucks.
It's just that whole saga, the rap wars. That episode of the documentary was so entertaining.
I don't know what it is about Tico, but she is.
She's terrible.
Electric though.
Put a rap together? No, you can't. So
I can't, but like she couldn't either. So what the fuck are we talking about here?
She acts, she raps, she's models. Come on.
Oh man,
she's the best.
You're just a hater, right?
And then also
I'll hate Tico, Texas. Come on, tell her
that turned into the KFC Dave Portnoy battle where they got the two songs against. So that was awesome.
The rap saga between those two was great. KFC was kind of the first one that got me roped into Barstool. So, like some of his shtick was like it's pretty cool to see again, like in video form how it was all like vlogged back in the day. But so I've watched that. Been continuing the Marvel movies, and then we started Ozark season 3, but did not get very far into it yet.
That's a great show, man.
It is awesome. It's very good.
Said he's holding back on season 3 for a day where he needs some maybe a little pick me up. You go watch season 3.
Yeah, you don't want to get rid of all your live bullets early on.
Yeah, you don't want to shoot all your rounds right away.
Like I said, people, we're maybe looking at about a few more months of this. So maybe,
maybe you might want to save Ozark season 3 for the All-Star break. Something like
I always say there's too much on Netflix. We'll see about that. We will
see.
Yeah,
I might find the bottom of it.
God forbid we're gonna miss the ESPYs this year, boys. I don't know what we're gonna do.
I've never watched the ESPYs in my life.
I know. I don't
like it because it's not live. I don't like it because I need live award shows. I
don't like it because it's a day in the summer and there's no sports on. Like, what the hell are we doing?
I feel about the Grammys and stuff. I need something to maybe go wrong. Maybe go wrong. Like that. I need the thought of oh, what if somebody messes up and the microphones go out? No,
stage drunk.
What if the ESPYs they just edit it because that's what they do?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
P Goy, what are you watching?
I have been watching some WWE Network little rewinds. I've been going back in time before I was born, when I was a little kid. Watching a lot of old wrestling lately because there's nothing else to watch on TV. So I've caught up on Better Call Saul. I've caught up on.
Go watch the '95 Royal Rumble. That was the best ever.
Oh, Shawn Michaels, right?
That was the one with Undertaker and Yokozuna, I think.
Oh yes, that's
the casket match.
I haven't turned on we have a Dish Network. I haven't turned it on since.
I'm with you, dude.
That was
the last sporting event I watched live.
No, so I've been watching a lot of old wrestling. I've been watching. I caught up on all my Netflix shows. I've caught up on. I watched the Tiger King. I watched Better Call Saul. I've watched Peaky Blinders.
She's murdering Netflix. Is what we're hearing.
I just thought about this. We need to set up a time when we're both going to watch Tiger King at the same time because neither of us have watched it. That's kind of crazy that we're maybe one of the last two people on Earth that haven't.
You have to. Have to.
But
I might rewatch it.
Me and you need to schedule a time to watch it.
Right.
So I told my dad about it.
Watch it a second time, you're gonna catch a bunch of new stuff.
Oh, I would figure stuff like that.
So I told my dad about that, and my dad he goes, "Yeah, I watched it all in the same day." He just knocked it the fuck out. It was
what I hear. It's one of those things that could have been a 45-minute documentary, an hour. It's one of those things. That
you needed at minimum 4 or 5 episodes.
But
7 was a little much.
I understand that, but that's what we do now. Everything's got to be 6 episodes long. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's 7. 5 would have been the sweet spot.
Yes, 5 was about right, but
could have put it all in We're 3, I bet. But anyone else watch anything else interesting for the people?
You guys been watching all like these old games on Comcast Chicago or anything?
Yeah.
No. I've been so deep into Netflix. I haven't even turned my DirecTV on in like 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, I just kind of watch it on my computer, like a little background. Like they have like old NBA games. They had a lot of they had like Kobe games today. They had Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan because they all are going to be inducted into the is it Basketball Hall of Fame? Not NBA, it's basketball, right? Yeah, so they had I think they had Kobe's last game today. They had the Boston. I think they ran all the Boston Celtics, Lakers NBA championship games today on ESPN and stuff like that. So like they're just look around wherever like ESPN Sports Center, ESPN Sports, same thing. NBA NBA Network, MLB, they are running old games, and so like I'd always keep track because they'll just play random old games from like your favorite team. So I always like to keep track of just old games, and they actually had the Bears Packers Thanksgiving Day game on the other day where Jay Cutler beat the Packers. I thought it was going to be the one where it was the NFC Championship where we lost.
That would have been great.
I was kind of complaining about it, but then I was told it was the Thanksgiving game. I'm like, why would we be promoting this? Chicago was promoting it. I'm like, why are we promoting this loss? But it was a win.
So other than Netflix, Zach kind of talked about it. What are you guys playing? I know some of us are video game guys. Some of us are not. I like Zach. I'm on that PlayStation group chat every night. So MLB show and a ton of NBA 2K19. I've dug back into that. What about you guys? Video games, Poke. What do you guys do?
I was gonna make a joke. You said, "What are you playing with?" I was gonna say myself.
That
was too easy for me. The way you said it, you could have
That's 275 down the fairway right there.
You could have phrased it. Chance, this is like us playing at the polo ground on the short fence. But yeah, not just myself, but not really much of anything. Like I bought a Nintendo Switch for my nephew for when the quarantine is over with. That's why I bought it. That's my excuse for it.
Sure it was.
Yeah, no one believes you.
No, but actually, I've actually still been working out in the field and stuff. Been working. It's been weird. It's like one of those things you don't really mind working late anymore because what are you going to do after work? Like I work.
So you kind of look like an essential guy.
It's kind of nice too. I work in the middle of a field where there's nobody for, I guess not quite a while because there's houses and stuff. But it's nice just to get some fresh air every once in a while too. And it's different. Like I don't have to work. We're recording on a Saturday night. I don't have to work tomorrow, but Monday morning, it's just going to be like, get out of the house. It's almost like you go to work to get away from things. It's the opposite of what it used to be.
Matt, last time we talked, you were playing some old Nintendo games. What have you still been on that same train playing NBA Jam or what?
Well, yeah, I did fire up the Xbox One just to get it updated. So I figured there was probably like a 1,000 gigabyte, update that needed to be done since the last time I turned it on.
Okay. Sorry for this. Why are video games take 7 hours to download now?
It's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
why could what happened to technology for we could put a disc in and it just play right away?
What the hell's the point of the CD if I still got to download a bunch of shit after?
Yeah,
that's what I haven't figured out.
Download it off the internet, like you can like download it and buy it, and that takes a little bit because it's all on your PlayStation.
Makes sense. You're buying the data then.
If I have to put the disc back in to play it, then I should not have to take 7 hours to download it.
And MLB The Show took like
totally agree.
It's like, and then like I got the new Call of Duty. That took like 2 days almost.
I just fired up the Xbox One, so I was thinking about buying like Grand Theft Auto, just something I could screw around with, like that I don't have to pay attention. I've always played just sports games mainly. So like NBA 2K and NHL, stuff like that. But I don't know. Right now, I got the Genesis fired up. We're going with little greatest heavyweights. I don't know if you can see it there or not, but we got So so we're fired up. We're going with the retro system again tonight. But I don't know, man. Just filling time when I'm not working.
Yes. The motto is we're doing nothing. That's just the motto.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Nothing.
Trying to
Nothing.
stay healthy, man.
Nothing.
Just trying to
It's
stay
so
healthy.
weird.
That's it.
It's one of those things like I know like whenever I see my dad throughout the day, I'm like, hey, what are you doing tonight? What are you doing tonight? It's like don't even ask those kind of questions anymore because
Yeah, I talked to my boss on the phone the other day. I was like, what do you got going on this weekend? And he's like, nothing.
Nothing.
The same thing
Like,
you
oh,
do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing I have going on. I'm an idiot. P Goy, you
Every
are
day
not a video
sucks.
game
It's all
guy.
the same.
So what are you doing, P Goy? You're not a video game guy. Are you doing some online poker, blackjack? What are you doing? Ponies, obviously. What are you doing, man?
Hey, it didn't take a coronavirus for P Goy to get into some online poker.
No, it's.
Yeah, that's
No,
valid.
I've been playing
I was
online
gonna say.
poker and been betting horses. That's about all I do. Just.
So life
just
hasn't
poker.
changed much for you,
Yeah.
has it? Other than not
No,
having to go to work.
I tend to
Course.
thrive in these situations.
Okay, P Goy, I have to talk to you about this. Your little chipping thing you have in your backyard.
Yeah.
I know you're a better golfer than all of us on here, but just by chance, what if you accident? I feel like I am going to like. There's something stupid that's gonna happen. It's gonna hit a house.
No,
Like-
no, because you're too close to the net.
My
to hit
angle
a
was a
house.
little weird from like from where you had it, but
P
it
Goy,
just-
I've hit a golf ball 90 degrees from where I'm at. Okay, let's not get
Well,
I've hit
just-
one backwards before.
No,
Yeah.
So,
I mean-
so Zach, like to Zach's point, like, if I put you in front of that net, you're too close to the net to do anything catastrophic.
I understand. I was just kind of messing, but also like the view did kind of make it look like it was a little bit farther back, but
Yeah.
I've seen myself before. Hey, and if Boomy's situation happens where it goes backwards, then there's just nothing you can do about that.
Oh, don't park your truck behind that. Don't do
So
that.
is it like the Matt Barnes and like Kobe gif where it's like the ball was a lot like nowhere near as close to his face as it actually looks?
Yeah.
All right.
Like there's no.
The camera played games
Tricks on your it's playing tricks on my mind.
All right, guys, this has to end at some point. Like, we're going to be able to go outside. What? I know I personally
It's not.
have it all
It's
planned
over.
out. The first weekend day that I'm allowed to go outside, I'm going to give you mine, and I want you guys to tell me what you got planned. I'm going to start in the morning, and I'm going to go hit the local Ziggy's. It's a family restaurant in town. I'm going to get a big Ziggy's omelet.
Ziggs.
I'm going to come home. I'm going to take some
Love it.
pre-work. I'm going to the gym because I haven't been able to go to the gym in a couple weeks. Then there's going to be a noon
Wait,
Cubs
Boomie,
game on.
Can I stop you?
Hardo!
Can you please sit in Ziggy's and eat the food? Just
No, I
because
gotta
you
be-
can. But just,
Oh,
you
yeah.
gotta sit
Yes.
just because you can.
I'm with you there. I will sit at Ziggy's all by myself, eat a Ziggy's skillet.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying just because you can.
Exactly. So when I get done, I'm going to go work out. After that, there's going to be a Cubs noon game on. I'm going to sit in front of the giant projector with my new surround sound, and I'm going to watch the Cubs game, and I'm going to probably have a couple beers. After the Cubs game's done, about 3:30, I'm going to go play 18 holes. Right as the sun's starting to go down, I'm going to head into the bar at the golf course, and I'm going to watch whatever night game's on for about 2 hours. At 9 o'clock, I'm heading to the corner tap and enjoying the rest of the night.
There you go.
That is almost mine.
Reared up and ready to go.
I
boys.
got one real big problem. The working out thing. Come on.
The G word.
I have to, dude. I'm dying here.
This guy.
Come on.
This guy is like, I want to go to the gym. I want to go to the
You
gym.
can go to the
Shut
gym.
up.
Start on day 2 for Christ's sake. Get over it.
Dude, I have lost 8 pounds in this quarantine, and I know it's because I'm losing muscle mass. And it
I've
is dropping.
gained 10. It's okay.
Oh, I've gained.
It'll be
I've
all right.
gained 20. I mean,
It's-
my mom's making cinnamon bread. I'm eating it. I'm eating freaking cinnamon rolls. I mean,
you guys ever had Dots pretzels?
guys, look at this. Look at this.
Yes, we have 3 bags of those in my house right now.
I was gonna say Dots pretzels. I have been
Look at this.
eating. I've been eating those things like they're
Like,
going
what do I have?
out.
I have this.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I
I'm
don't
also
know.
probably waking my parents. I'm screaming right now, but like I said, I just have a lot of energy because we're
Yes.
used to doing 4 shows a week, and we're not doing not doing shows because we don't like. We're just like, oh, we're not just gonna do a show tonight. Like this, there's just nothing.
Because all we're doing is bitching about how life sucks right now.
Yeah, exactly. We don't need that negativity in our lives.
I'm gonna make kind of maybe an executive decision. I think we should do 1 podcast a week and 1 to 2 morning shows a week because there's just not. I think we need to almost let the information build up and then
let it eat a little bit.
Like unless it's something like once the like if the Bulls do make a decision on the new general manager, we'll do breaking stuff like that. But I think we need to because we kind of I kind of got a little overzealous. I think that's the way to say it.
That is the word.
We're going to do one every other day. That's not going to happen, people. There's just not enough stuff to do there. And it's not like we just don't want to give like this. I looked at it right now. We're about at an hour 5, and we're just going to keep talking. That's what we kind of need to build up to now because there's just enough information to do an everyday show.
I agree.
So with that being said, does anybody else have a plan on what you're doing on your first day out?
Oh, I do.
I'll let P Goy go first because he looks like he's excited.
I am going golfing
all day,
and I'm gonna go,
and
then I'm gonna drink, and I'm gonna come home, and I'm gonna throw some stuff on the grill, and I'm gonna keep drinking, and then I'm gonna watch a pay-per-view on TV because it's gonna happen to correlate with whatever I'm doing, and I'm gonna fall asleep.
You're gonna do
tremendous
stone cold beer,
just a tremendous day of golfing. Drinking and grilling and falling asleep.
I respect that.
I have a question though for both of your guys' situations. What if it rains?
Nope, not gonna rain.
Oh, I'm going golfing either way.
Nope,
I just
kidding.
It
won't rain because it has rained on our parade for the last 6 fucking weeks, and it's gonna keep going. So the rain can stop anytime it wants to.
Matt, I gotta know, what are you doing?
Well, after I stopped crying,
in about 6 months.
Yeah, after I stopped the tears of joy that the shackles of being confined to the house are off and broken. I don't know. My hope is that there's like a Kane County Cougars game not far down the road. I hope there's like some baseball game that I could just go. Take Owen, take Maggie. We just go sit outside, have a bunch of draft beers for $8 a piece. Pop back a bunch of like ballpark hot dogs. You know, just give me the sound of a baseball bat cracking, and I'm pretty simple when it comes to stuff like that. Like I don't need much.
I have an amendment to make to mine, and that kind of goes to Matt's point. And we talked about I love Sunday night baseball, and I've been fiending for. So maybe after I get to the clubhouse about 7 o'clock, I'll watch the Sunday night game that I love so much. Then when that's done, then I'll go to the
No, because if they do that, the first day of freedom cannot be a Sunday. If the first day of freedom's got to be a Friday. First day of freedom's got to be a Friday, so you can get it like, hey, you guys sacrificed a lot of days, you gave up a lot of time. We're gonna release the hounds on a Friday for you, so you can really just go power through a weekend. You know.
I can live with that. Zach, what about you?
You guys have all gone through your days. It's kind of be the same. I'll go golfing and stuff. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do when I get the first chance at it. I'm going to get on the train. I'm going to go into the city. I'm going to go to a Cubs game. I'm going to get drunk at all the bars. I'm going to go to the game.
Every bar.
Get drunk at the game. I'm going to leave the game. I'm going to get drunk at the bar. After the game, I'm going to stay at my buddy's house, and I am going to remember the good old days when we could just go to the Cubs game. We were supposed to go to opening day. We were supposed to go to the home opener, and it's just been nothing is more fun to me than going to like either like a Friday or like a Saturday night maybe game or like a Saturday afternoon game or a Friday afternoon game and just drinking and having a good time. And that's where you want to be, around a bunch of people, because that's where you're not been allowed to, because it'll be 6 months down the road from now, because that's what's going to happen, because we are just having no luck right now. I hope it doesn't.
That's my rained on mine and P Goy's parade. Now I have to ask, what if the Cubs are on the road that day?
No. I said that. I said when I get the first chance at it.
Oh, okay.
I did. I put a little bit of a disclaimer in there. It's when I get a first chance at it. And also, like I said, I'm gonna go golfing. I'm gonna go to the corner tap. I'm gonna go to the corner tap again, and I'm gonna go to the corner tap again because
again.
I've only driven by like 4 or 5 times in the last
Taking
week.
different routes so you don't see it. It's like an
Let me-
ex-girlfriend's house.
Let me throw this hypothetical I heard earlier today being talked about. Like, say, like the calendar in sports gets pushed back from September to say like November or December. So you have like a super month of sports next March, like a year from now,
Oh,
and you've got the Super Bowl in March, you've got March Madness, you've got baseball, you've got NBA, you've got NHL, you've got literally every sport is colliding into this 1 month because of schedules and you've got playoffs, you've got big events, you've got maybe the Masters gets thrown in there in March so they can push the rest of the golf calendar up. You just got March back because you lost it last year. We're going to give it to you like 100-fold,
I think that
I think I'm going into quarantine again and not leaving the house for a month.
I think that as much as we hate it now with no sports, I think we're going to be paid off by getting just a crazy few months of sports once we get sports back. Like
when it comes back, it's going to be so exciting too.
Just
like,
think about that first live
game,
first live professional, like of the core 4 team of professional sports, the first live game.
We're going to be
college
out of our minds for like a Rays Orioles game that starts at 11 a.m.
I'll take the day off. I'll take the day off for it.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's for sure. All right, last thing we got to talk about. Obviously, with everything going on, the best way to get food is a lot of these places are doing like side pickups and obviously deliveries and stuff. So I want everyone to pick a restaurant, maybe locally, that you've been getting food from. You want to give a little shout out to. So does anybody want to have one to start?
I will go first. They have a spot in Irville and Pawpaw, Beaver's Den. It is in Pawpaw. It's not very big. It's in the main strip there.
Just like a bar and grill.
Yeah, they do like curbside pickups and stuff, and just going like I said, going to local places, and you want to help people. It has to. I mean, it's just awful for like what this. As much as we kind of go on about we miss sports and everything, like there's real shit going on in the world, and people like in the food industry and stuff it's a struggle right now. You can't go out to eat. You can only really go through drive-throughs and like I said, curbside pickup. So I will have to shout out Beaver's Den, and like I said, it's in Pawpaw and Irville. I think that they're doing curbside pickup in Irville, but like Nick said, our guy Nick Gons said that they were trying to get a hold of them. I think it was Friday night. It was swamp. Like it was what's it, cod
like
fish?
Hour and a half wait.
Yeah, that's a good. I mean, as much as it sucks for people that want the food, I mean, it's a good thing that that they're still getting business and like I said, support local. Like I said, I'm going to the local grocery. Yeah, I'm going to the local grocery store and stuff. I live in like a pretty small town and everything. Like I said, just kind of stay local for now because also it's just the fact that it's like just lower amounts of traffic through there too.
Definitely.
Anywhere else you guys got?
I've definitely got a shop. Marshallone's in Mendota, the best pizza in.
Also, shout out Nick Gons too.
Yeah, absolutely. But they like painted numbers on their parking spots. So when you order your food, you drive up, you call in, say I'm in parking spot number 2. They bring your food out. Pretty good, really good, sir. I mean, our order last night took us like 15 minutes, and it was nice and ready and piping hot. And then the other one I have to give up because it's literally right up the road from here, Ziggy's Family Restaurant. They created a drive-through through the backside. Call in, they have an app, which is pretty sweet. So we order our food, you drive around, they say, what's your name? They bring your food out. You're in and out 5 minutes top. So Ziggy's and Marshallone's. I know those are very cliche for the Illinois Valley and Mendota, but those are the two we have definitely ordered from the most.
They're classics, though. They're classics.
Yes, exactly. Icons.
So we did Marshallone's in Peru. Same thing. Just call in. They'll bring it out to you. But I've also done my big bar is Jake's Poorhouse on 9th Street in Peru or LaSalle. Jake's Poorhouse on 9th Street in LaSalle. Got killer wings, killer food. Just, if you can, get to Jake's Poorhouse in LaSalle.
Me and P Goy used to meet up there for drinks on Fridays. We got to get back to doing that when we get back to
every Friday.
Matt, I just saw you sent us something. What is that?
Yeah, it's a place in Maple Park. It's called Lodi Tap House. They actually just opened up another place down by you guys in Utica.
Yeah. Oh, love that place.
Started at
Never
Maple
been.
Park, but they do kind of like more like a gastro pub type bar food. Really like cool burgers and stuff like that. A really good chicken sandwich. Some kind of crazy items that they try out and stuff a lot too. Cheese curds. If you go there, get the cheese curds as well. They're doing the order on Grubhub. You can order online, so you can order for pickup or delivery within your area. But then you can, if you order online, you can just go pick it up too. My suggestion too, you can throw a little tip on there if you're
Oh, yeah.
as well, because those guys are
Just
busting their asses trying to stay alive and yeah.
it's a lot of.
We were talking about this in our other group chat on PlayStation. I have been tipping, and I'm not just like I like to say that I'm a pretty good tipper because I used to 10 bar, and I hate people who don't tip. But like with all this going on, just throw $10. Like what's the difference? Like help those people out because some of those people can't even go to work. It's awesome that their places are staying open, so help them out.
Let me throw a couple things out on Lodi real quick too. Their burgers, absolutely dynamite. So get their burger, the smash burgers, dynamite. Build it how you want it, but then they always have a special too. Other things, the cheese curds, you have to absolutely get the cheese curds. Cool thing too is they're also doing you can buy beer from them as well. So you can buy 6-packs, 12-packs of beer from them. They only sell like micro brews from places in Illinois. So that's all they do. They only deal with breweries in Illinois. So they're kind of trying to play on the local vibe of everything too. So bunch of really good guys, good people that work there. So good people to support. And if you can, check them out. They got good food and good place, man.
And it's like what Boomy was saying about make sure and I think that's Matt too, was saying about tipping well. These people did not sign up for what they have to go through right now. Like you didn't become a waitress or waiter to or like a cook or whatever to have to take out food to people and have to go through what they're having to go through to keep their job because of what's going on. So like I said, make sure you just understand what everyone's having to go through just so you can get your food. And just make sure that you are generous in times because especially it's one of those things. Just throw a little bit extra tip because guess what? You're not going out to eat. You are buying the food, but you're not going out to eat and you're not getting the extra beer with it and stuff like when you go out to eat. And just kind of figure that kind of stuff in too.
Heard an interview with John Taffer this week, and he was talking about how, how restaurants, they were saying, well, oh, yeah, a lot of people just assume that, oh, well, now they can do carry out and takeout. They're doing just fine. Well, yeah, but they can serve 150 meals in an instant in a restaurant. They can't deliver 150 meals or do carry out 150 meals that quick. So
I was talking to my buddy who works at the bar in town, and he said that it is so much more difficult and time-consuming to put a meal into a styrofoam container than it is to prepare it on a plate.
Well, but then you gotta wait for the asshole to get there. You gotta wait for him to show up on time, and then you gotta wait for this. You gotta wait for that, and it's like.
That's also the thing. Like, if you're gonna be doing the curbside pickup, make sure you're there even early. Like, make sure you're there on time because. That's for a place like that. They only have so much room. They only have so much time. Like you got to make sure that you're not. It's not like you're ordering a pizza from Casey's. You can show up 30 minutes later. It's not that big of a deal. Like it's a little bit different than that. Yeah. Even like at Casey's, like they got the red tape out. You got to stay 6 feet back. And then the cashier has to scan your stuff. You have to stand at the red line. That they stand back and then you pay and everything. Like it's just crazy times.
Yes, it is. That's the best way to put it. But that was episode 65 of Typical Chicago Fans. First of all, I have to thank Zach for letting me run the show tonight. I appreciate it, buddy. We've been doing this for 2+ years now. So
I felt bad when I said you take over the show. I didn't mean like that. I just meant like you had some ideas and everything. You just keep it flowing.
I appreciate
the keys of the ship.
Sent out an email to me about all the subjects. I've never done that, so Boomy has already officially done something I've never done before.
But I've been studying you for 2 years. So
it's been episode 65. So good on you. And like I said, you did a great job. No, I didn't mean like that. That was a compliment.
I know.
Like everything I say, people make a thing like I'm being sarcastic. I'm being serious.
Because 99%
no,
of the time you are sarcastic.
Hey, it was just funny. That's all. That's nothing else. Nothing else outside of that.
But make sure you follow all of our social medias: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Go to the YouTube page for the daily shows. Anywhere you look up on social media, check us out. I am Boomy at Boomy TCF. We got Matt Schoolfield at schools_01. Zach Lilia at Z Lilia TCF, and P Goy at TCF P Goy, I believe, or is it TCF P Goy or P Goy TCF?
TCF first.
He's the
TCF P Goy. Hit us up on social media. Like we said, we're kind of just hanging out. So if you got something to throw at us for the podcast or the daily show, hit us up. Guys, anything else?
Like we were kind of saying, there's not a lot going on, so we'll kind of we'll keep this to probably one podcast a week, and then we said we haven't been doing the podcast much lately, but we'll get back to doing the podcast once a week, and maybe 1 to 2 morning shows. There will be a morning show Monday morning. We'll kind of go over some stuff and get you ready for the week that is another week of quarantine.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for checking in with Typical Chicago Fans, episode 65. And
wait, Matt's got a grin on his face. You got something to say, Matt?
I got nothing. This is fun. We need to do this more often.
Yeah, that's it. I forgot how fun.
I'm not talking to anybody. I'm talking to my wife and my kid. Like, that's it. And they're great. I love them. But like, I don't know.
I love
you
my
see it in the face. You're like, yes.
Yeah, you get excited. It's like, oh my god, there's human life outside of this house. Oh my god.
I can't even feel bad because like I'm tired of being around my parents and they're tired of being around me. Me and my dad, we work together. We go to work, see each other at work, and they come home. It's like, I'm tired of seeing you. I'm tired of seeing the same like 4 or 5 people a day. Like I'm ready to get back into normal life, but that is very far away.
Long
I think.
way coming.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, in the famous words of Zach, we love you all.
Peace.
Thank you.